tribute to South African music legend Hugh Masekela. He's described the internationally renowned musician as a pioneer of jazz music. The world is mourning the death of Masekela today after a long battle with prostate cancer. He was 78. He was diagnosed with prostate cancer a few years ago. Masekela was born in April 1939 in Mpumalanga. At just 21, he enrolled at London's Guildhall School of Music. The following year, he found himself exiled in New York, where American jazz legend Harry Belafonte took him under his wing. Masekela, popularly known as Bra Hugh, made a name for himself as the father of African jazz. He used his music to spread the message of political change during the years of apartheid. He performed the world over and won several accolades. All right, well, let's get a bit more now. Our reporter Griselda Lewis is standing by in Killarney. Griselda, good afternoon to you. Tributes pouring in for the South African icon, but not only here, he was a world icon. He was certainly celebrated the world over. Good afternoon.
Well, good afternoon to you, Natasha. Certainly a sad day for the country and South Africa, as well as the world, as we woke up to the sad news of the passing of the legendary jazz musician Hugh Masekela, who was affectionately known as Bra Hugh, of course succumbing to prostate cancer. In a statement released by the family this morning, they say Bra Hugh passed away peacefully, surrounded by his family. And of course, you'll recall there, Natasha, that in October 2017, the family released a statement saying he had been battling prostate cancer since 2008. And you'd remember as well last year that he also had to cancel most of his music commitments due to the battle with the disease. And as you pointed out there, President Jacob Zuma did say in a statement that the nation is mourning one of its most recognizable signature talents and an immeasurable loss to the music industry and to the country at large, saying his contribution to the struggle for liberation will never be forgotten. And then he went on to convey the condolences to the family and peers in the arts and culture fraternity at large. You must also recall how great this man was, that in 2010, President Jacob Zuma awarded him with the National Order of Ikamanga in gold for his exceptional contribution to music and the struggle against apartheid in South Africa. Well, mourners have already started arriving here at the home to pay their respects. I'm just looking here towards my left as well. You'd see that some would just walk into the shot very shortly. And we've also seen some of those in the music fraternity and those who've worked with him for a very long time, including his longtime friend Mandla Langa, who wrote an opera with him a few years ago. And this is what he had to say.
I'm shocked, stunned, and I am wondering, after seeing the Masekela family, how they must also be taking this, because it's a devastating piece of news. He was a giant, and all of us that knew him, we loved him as a very, very, very important South African.
What most, I think, would you remember, that I know you've worked with him as well. You know, there was a particular work ethic about Utatu Hugh Masekela. He was very strict. I think even as young people, as we came across him, we would always have wise words for anyone. And in particular as well, we can't write off as well his contribution through music in the fight for liberation in this country. He was always vocal about the political situation in this country and how we could even do better.
Well, he's one South African that put South Africa on the world map. His name is instantly recognizable all over, and it became synonymous with the struggle of the people of South Africa and the cultural thrust of artists to make sure that the voice of South Africa becomes known at home and abroad. And so for that, he will be very missed. And he was a man of great integrity, and I think that's all really that he must be remembered for.
Well, certainly that, Natasha. And just to bring you up to speed about what's happening here in Killarney is that due to this great man that we're talking about, not just celebrated here at home, but around the world, there's also hordes of international media that have also gathered here outside the home, waiting to see amongst those who will come and pay tribute to the Masekela family. But I'll hand it back to you as we monitor the situation outside here in Killarney.
Griselda, thank you so much. Griselda Lewis, live from the Masekela home in Killarney. Well, Deputy Chief Justice